Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus, and like I promised to be back to do this show. This show is something that I wanted to do like a few days ago, but I've been super busy taking care of, personal stuff out here. But today's show is going to be an open line thing. But before we get into that, I'm going to give you guys the synopsis on what this topic is going to be about. As of late, people, we've been hearing a whole lot about, Pan Africanism. And for some reason, it is coming so much from, blacks, from the Western world. And rightfully so, even if you look at in the inception of Pan Africanism, how it started, it was needed back then in the late 1800s. One of the well-known individual, people like Marcus Garvey, W.E.D. Du Bois, people like that were pushing, the Pan-Africanist ideology. And then you fast forward to the 1940s, 1950s, you're going to see that, people like Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana, also pushing for Pan-Africanism. But somehow, because if you look at the definition, why this Pan-Africanism was even set up, they said, okay, Africans, people of African descent in the Western Hemisphere, meaning in the Western world, people whose ancestors were enslaved, for them to come together and share a common heritage, a common understanding amongst each other, and extend that understanding, with, their mother continent, which is Africa. But it doesn't necessarily mean people that are born in the West, in the United States, Britain, or wherever, for them to just get up and relocate to African countries, or leaving Jamaica, which is predominantly black country, by the way. It is for black people to have a common understanding so black people can be free and travel around. Okay, so if you look at it, for instance, places like the United States, I'm sure in other Western countries in Europe, they have Asians, they have like Chinese, Indians, different groups of people who live there as well, who live here in America. So every other race, because if we say we're going by the race, every other race have a seating, a stronghold, in these Western countries that supplies their homeland. And then the people coming from their homeland, they connect with their people here in the West and make things happen. We all know the truth is, for instance, America, you cannot deny it, is the wealthiest country in the world, has so much opportunities that you are not going to see in Africa. Kwame Nkrumah, when he became president in Ghana, what was Kwame Nkrumah doing? And before I get into that, I'll give you the background of these folks who started pushing this Pan Africanism. When you hear Pan Africanism and you look at even the setup, the way the people speak, their mindset, it's right out of the Communist Manifesto. It's a socialist, communist, ideology. Because people don't understand. When Kwame Nkrumah became president in Ghana, that's what he was trying to push, socialism. He was taking Ghana's money, while people suffer in Ghana, to give it to other countries with quote unquote, he's helping them because we're all Pan Africanists. We want to be one. But is that the truth though? This is what people never look at. Is that the truth? That is not the truth. He was doing that for his own good. He wanted to be seen as the leader of Africa. He wanted these people to eventually elect him to be the leader of Africa under the disguise of saying they are uniting Africa. But we know that would have never even worked. There's a reason why it didn't work, because Ghanaians themselves, kicked him out because he started being a dictator. He killed off all other political parties. He wants everyone to see him as the leader. And we're seeing that today with this Pan-Africanist movement. It's like embedded in some sort of dictatorship. Many people that are in this group that speak about it seem to have a lot of identity crisis as well. Me, myself here that is talking to you, I have dabbled in this Pan-Africanist space. I have been around Pan-Africanists. I've been in meetings. But one thing I notice, it's a group thinking thing. You're not allowed to be your own individual self. They are stuck in the past. There is no self-reflection. Everything is somebody else's fault. It's never their fault. It's never, they never take responsibility. And I noticed that, me being from the family background I come from, I know who my people are. I know my mom, my dad, everyone, aunties, uncles. So it would be hard for me to come across just strangers, because it was very weird to me to come just to strangers and start truly pretending to say, oh, we're brothers and sisters, just simply because we have the same skin color. In Africa, us, even the country where I come from, if you just come to somebody's clan, for instance, you meet people, they are going to want to know, who are your folks, where you're from, who are the people you're related to. And to me, if you don't know who you truly are, then this would work on you. That means you're going around trying to recruit complete strangers to try to force your ideology on them. You're thinking in your head, oh, because people, it seems like an indoctrination. You're telling other people your personal story. For instance, some of these people, I don't know if it's a mental problem or what it is. When they meet you, they would tell you what what their personal experience has been on quote unquote in America or Europe, wherever they were living. So if these things that they're telling you, you don't share that idea, that's not been your experience, okay, they get pretty upset. And I found that to be very, very strange. I said, why would somebody be upset that someone else didn't experience what they experienced? Because our experiences is the sum total of us. Your experience is not my experience. I want to be able to live as an individual. I want you to be free also to be an individual. But I notice when I do these videos, for instance, sometimes people would come in the comment section, they would say, oh, you are disparaging, your own people. You're going against your own community. And I always ask the question, I said, who are my people? Who are my people? Who is this community that you are talking about? And they never come back and answer. I think when they read what I'm saying, they just think, okay, yeah, the guy's got a point. And when I ask these questions, I'm not trying to be mean, I'm not trying to be rude, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm truly asking the question because I want to know, what community you think I'm a part of. Because you cannot just keep walking around just assuming people share your ideology, people think like you, people have the same experience as you do. You're just walking in a trance. And when these people don't see things the way you do, you start getting upset. You start getting mad. And as of late, I've seen many quote-unquote Pan-Africanists who they've never, if you notice, they don't consult Africans, what they think of this quote-unquote Pan-Africanism. And I see even people who are from Africa, from African countries, who also try to join this Pan-Africanist talk. I don't know if they are doing it just for the hell of it, just to pretend to be a part of something. I refuse to believe that these people are genuine about this, because if you're truly from Africa, you're born and raised there, you're from a family, you're from a tribe, you know your people, you know how the people think, how people value their own family and community, there's no way you'll be able to pretend to just look at strangers, complete strangers, and pretend that you guys are one real family. That's not possible. I'm just keeping it 100. But with this Pan-Africanist talk, if you look at it, what is being said, it's not benefiting Africa. The African countries they are going to, it's not benefiting them. In fact, it is discouraging the people. What most of these Pan-Africanists don't even understand. Already as it is, there are many Africans, just in case you haven't noticed, are traveling or have traveled, left their various countries to the Western world, to seek greener pasture. They're already doing that. So when you come in the name of Pan-Africanism, first you said you're coming in the name of Pan-Africanism. Okay, cool. If you're telling me we have to align and form a union based in skin color, cool. I notice, okay, we're same black, we're black. Now, what is beyond that? What am I getting from this? You came with your ideology to me. Like people need to eat. People need to pay bills. Life needs to go on. I can't pay my bills or buy food with my skin color. So if you're coming telling me, okay, for instance, they're saying, oh, the Chinese are in Africa. They know how to point out things, you know. That's another thing. The mentality they're coming with is all based in, preconceived notions and projections. Because in their heads, truly what I've seen is they feel white people are superior to them. They want to copy white people. So this is why when they see whites and others who are not white in Africa, they get pretty upset. But this is not what Africans want. You have to remember the type of, Pan-Africanism you're pushing. This is not what Africans want. I've even heard many the things they say. Africans don't want to hear that. You don't think Africans are paying attention? You're coming from a place in the Western world, America, Britain. You want to give them a sob story about how you are a victim, how terrible that place is. I've even heard some saying Africans shouldn't go to the Western world. But they see you come there. First, you give them your sob story, but then you're able to buy a land. As usual, just like even us Africans, when we go back there, we're able to buy land and stuff. The people are watching, they are seeing this. They could see, hey, this guy used to be here with us. He went to that country, he comes back, he's able to buy land. He's able to buy stuff, he's able to bring cars. Do you think Africans care about what you're telling them or talking about skin color? Because that's not what humans in other parts of the world care about. Nobody is looking at other person, what their skin color is. You're looking at what benefit am I getting? What opportunities are there for me to get? But you go all the way to Africa, you start telling them about how bad the West is, but what you're not realizing, African people have relatives that live in these countries. We're giving them a complete different experience from what you're telling them. They are seeing us sending them money. They see us sending them things. But the little money that you just came and invest, you think you're doing something big. Other people from those countries, we've been doing that for years. In case, you want to know, check out how much money Africans from various countries send into those countries just for remittances. There's no way you can outdo the citizens of those countries themselves. But they see you are able to afford this. Some even would hire a couple people to work and build their places, which if you're gonna build a place, you're gonna need to hire people. They see you are able to afford this. Your money is more than them. But yet you want to turn around and tell them that, oh no, you shouldn't go to the place where I came from. So this is what I'm talking about. Africans are confused. They are confused by what you are bringing to them. Because the Pan-Africanism what it was about is for Africans to be able to move around in the world wherever other Africans are, so it would be easy to be able to explore those opportunities. But you are going to a country, I'll give you an example like Gambia. So people are going to these places. You are seeing how poor the place is, the country is. You see people, they work, their salaries is like $50 a month or $100 a month. But you are coming from a place if these people go there, they can make way more than that. But yet, you're not telling them about this. Is that Pan-Africanism? This is why I'm asking, how are Africans benefiting from this? Because deep in your heart, in your mind, if you believe that, you're worshiping white people, because these are the type of silly things they say. If you want to go to the white man's country, that means you are worshiping the white man. So Africans should just sit in Africa, and not move ever, not go anywhere, not go explore the world. Then what's the purpose of the Pan-Africanism? Then what's the purpose? There is no purpose in it. You see? And that's the question today I want to ask. I know sometimes people go in about just single individuals, but I'm just talking about the group mentality. The group mentality. Because if we are going by saying skin color whatsoever, don't forget, Africa, we come from the black factory. These countries you're going to, in case you're not noticing, everybody there is black. We are already Pan-Africanists. We support each other. We are already doing that. We're trading with each other. But the place you are coming from has a lot of opportunities. Lots of opportunities. Why are you not telling the Africans how to get there? That is my question. Why are you not telling them this? But you think you want to tell them about, because in America, for instance, I had Juliet of Black Seed. She came in disguise, with a fake account, trying to troll me, going in on me and stuff. And one of the crazy things that she said was, "What country are you in? Why did you run away?" So you guys notice, Africans, everybody else can travel, they themselves, they traveled from whatever location they're coming from to come to Africa. They're the ones telling the story that they are running away. They are running away from something, from somebody, white supremacy. They're the ones telling these stories in Africa. When I came to America, go look at my record. I never said I'm running away from anything. I came here happily, freely, on my own. I never said I was running away from anything until I became a born-again American. So I don't understand why you seeing the conditions there, despite that, because most people that go there, even in this society that you come from, you're just an ordinary person, ordinary worker, and your wages are higher than even people in those countries in higher position. How come you're not telling them, "Hey, check this out. You can move to England and explore the opportunities there"? But to try to sell this false idea, just simply saying we're Pan-Africanists, but you're the one coming with your ideology. You're the one that's trying to tell me what Blackness and Africans should be like. If you are talking about your ancestors were taken out of Africa. They were in a tribe. Don't forget that. They were in a tribe. So you left 500 years later, you came back. You didn't come back, being a part of a tribe. You came back, just being referred to by skin color. So if you are saying you want to rehabilitate yourself to find out what your ancestors used to live like, how can you achieve that when you come and see their culture? You think you want to change them, and then you fool yourself, lying to yourself, saying, "Oh, the Africans, because they were colonized, they are brainwashed." What makes you, if you were meeting a lot, okay, yeah, there was colonization, but the culture there, I'm not saying there isn't few influence here and there, but if you think Africans are brainwashed and their culture did a 360, imagine you who was born and raised in that Western culture. your grandparents, your great-great-grandparents, generations after generation prior to you, all were born and socialized there. You want me to believe that what you're preaching to me, that's what an African is? Are you serious? You want to tell me about myself because you said you took African studies. You took African studies. How can you know? How can you know about me? Know more about me just from you reading a book about me, but you're not asking me, right? But now you're an expert of me. So if you have been socialized in that Western society, anything else that you are bringing to Africa, if it's not the tribal culture that that your ancestors left behind, anything else you're bringing is foreign, and it's a colonial mindset, because you are pretty much literally a white person. This is why, if you notice, if you go to places like Gambia, even if you're Black American, some of you have been upset and said people call you Tubab, meaning white, because you are just thinking it's about skin color. No, it's what's up here, mentality. People are not stupid. Despite this Pan Africanist thinking they can just get upset and be mad whatsoever, just be you. You don't have to be mad when other people are observing something completely different. But they get mad at the Africans for calling something out for what it is. They are not being rude. They are just, you might pretend and think that you are 100%, maybe yes, in America, you're Black, you might say you're different from white people. Yes, there's difference, maybe, but the thinking isn't that different. And the people are able to see it. They're able to see this, how you're socializing with them. They are familiar. They saw somebody prior to you who has white skin. They socialize in the same manner with them. So therefore, to be called Tubab white, it's not simply about the skin color. It's the thinking that they are referring to. Because you cannot tell me you can live in a society for generations and generations and tell me you have a completely foreign thinking. That is not possible. Some of the things that, if you look at it, you go to Africa, some of the things that you do and say, the people even hear it, they give you a pass because they're like, oh, they don't know any better. But even me that's lived here for so long, if I go back home and say certain things that you guys say and act a certain way, they will not forgive it. They would scrutinize me. They would say he's lost. They would want to know about who is his parents? What tribe is he from? What's his background? They're going to question all this and scrutinize it. So every society you go to, there's sets of rules. There's sets of rules that you go by. Okay? So if you're saying Pan-Africanism is supposed to be a two-way because you're saying we're uniting. So when I ask, what are we uniting on? People get upset right away. They get upset. I mean, how hard is that question? Seriously. Why is that question a controversial question? You think I'm being funny? I want to be able to explain to the people back there, the people that you're meeting, because people back home sometimes when I call, they watch these videos. They see some of you on the beaches there, around the beach side. They would ask me questions about you. What why are they there? Did they move back? Yeah, you might run into a few bumpsters here and there. Those people tell you certain things, and you're thinking that's the thinking process of everyone, but that's not how it is. Can you go and assimilate and live with the people? Absolutely. But you cannot go there and try to impose your own ideas, because your ideas your ideas are foreign. The very white man that you are saying you hate so much, the very white man that you're saying, is brainwash those Africans. This is, the Africans are seeing you as that white man the moment you open your mouth. Because if you're coming with your ideas from the Western world and calling it Pan Africanism, you said you read it in books. Who wrote those books? Who wrote those books? How can you tell Africans about how to be an African? Seriously, people, think about that for a minute. It's really, really crazy. It's really crazy. Imagine when I came to America and start telling Americans about how to be an American. That would be a problem. And then to top it off, when you listen to these Pan-Africanists, quote unquote, the ones that say, oh, we want to unite Africa, we want to do this and that, the ideas they are telling you, you listen, you pay attention, close attention, right? How they want Africa to be like. They would give you all the examples they're giving you. They're like, oh, look at the EU. Oh, look at United States. And even though in your head you're thinking African people are dumb, Africans are not dumb. They are listening to you. We're thinking in our heads like, okay, you're telling me about a model, a place that you say you hate so much, but you want us to be like that. So obviously the place is great. If you're telling me this place already exists, and over here everything, is so hard to put it together, it's jacked up, what do you think I'm gonna do? I don't have to tell you anything. I'm gonna figure out a way to get to that place. I'm gonna figure out a way to get there. Plain and simple. So it's like it's really, really, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, when you're talking about, we want Africa to be like EU. So everything you're saying is European model. It's European model, or American model. And people are like, or even these people you hear when they go to Africa, people are saying, I've heard this from people telling me, they would say, oh, in England, we don't, in England it's not done that way. Oh, in America it's not done that way. People are registering it. They're registering. But you just told me that place is a shithole. That's why you left. You came here. So obviously, if you're telling me the comparison, how mediocre our place, our services, our everything is compared to England or America, but you're telling me I shouldn't go there, that to me, you're a wicked person. How is that Pan-Africanism? How is that Pan-Africanism? Let's just be real. Do you just want to be able to go there and exchange your money, because the rates are gonna, you're gonna get a lot for your dollar or pounds, because you want to feel superior over the people? And then, because I've seen some of them patting themselves in the back saying, oh, I'm over here, doing, employing Africans. It's not even to say, oh, I've got a couple of people that work for me. No, I'm employing Africans. This is the type of words they use. How is that Pan-Africanism? That's my question to people. That's my question. Let me look at some of these questions, comments here. P. Nakopan said, Afridamus, you are not speaking more from a Western African perspective as a South African where there's a sizable white population? I find it hard to relate to West Africans. Hey, if your situation is different, then I guess it's different. But you have to know your country is in the minority. I'm speaking of the majority here. Afridamus, the place is decent, but it's not our place. Yes, I get that. And you know for a fact, Slayer Jim, Africans that travel to the Western world, they are not there because, like some of these Pan-Africanists would say, they are there because, oh, they want to worship white people. Who even thinks like that? When you're building connection, for example, the Chinese that come to Africa, you think the Chinese are there just because Africans want to see Chinese? Oh, they just love Chinese? If anyone is thinking that you're a fool, you cannot just simply connect with people just based on skin color. It has to be based on something tangible, economics. Africans and China have economic ties. Oh, the white people that people are trying to say, oh, why are you guys letting white people come here? Some of these countries, their GDP, if you look at how much money the white tourists bring, but yet you are saying, oh, you guys should cancel this and allow us to come. No one is stopping you. Just show exactly what you can do, plain and simple. Just show exactly what you can do. But no, everything is talk. And then you see people landing. What do? They start pulling their cameras. They're talking about the mediocre and the inferior things in Africa. But those same people would turn around. Those same quote-unquote Pan-Africanists would sit here and shamelessly say, oh, the Africans that left the continent, they should go back to Africa. Like, who the hell are you? Do you understand that you are a foreigner in Africa? No one is telling you you shouldn't go to Africa. You should pack up and leave. No one is telling you this. For me, that Pan-Africanism, I don't need to join someone's group or someone's quote unquote community. I don't know you. Maybe if you're bringing something, we can try to, understand each other, get to know each other. That makes more sense to me. But you're just coming saying, hey, this is how it's supposed to be and nothing else. If you don't do it, that means, you are a hater. Some are even requesting. They are requesting, to get, citizenship automatically. And I've seen places like Sierra Leone, they are giving out citizenship just based on, some, DNA whatsoever. Hey, if that's what they want to do, that's on them. But that's not how a country can be developed, because you don't know who is coming in. I don't care. They could be blacker than midnight. If we are saying Africa is behind, you have to also look at countries that are developed in the West. Because that's the example they give us. You have to scrutinize and see who's coming in. Even this P. Nankopen that is talking here, he's from South Africa, right? Let's ask him if South Africa extends, a good Pan-Africanist handshake to West Africans. That is not the reality. They have visas. South Africa have visa in place. If somebody is Gambian or Senegalese, whatever, they cannot just get up and buy a plane ticket and go to South Africa. They have a visa right there, and they make that difficult. Angola and other places. But yet, Even them, you look at them, they want to talk about Pan Africanism. No, it's based on you want to unite with the Western blacks, not the blacks that are around you. So let's stop fooling each other and just face the reality. You know, if you want to go to Africa because you're gonna exchange your money and feel like a king, you want to build your place, just do that. You know, don't try to use, you know, all these mind games, these tactics, you know, telling people we are related, we are all this and that. You know, that's cute for a moment, but after some time it starts seeming like a mental problem. You know, because when I read some of these comments, it's so pathetic. Like I literally, like I'm like, man, these people are really serious about this. They are mental. They have to have mental issues for you to look at a complete stranger, just simply because you said your ancestors are descended from Africa. Now, all of a sudden, you're related to me. We're from the same community. Look, I haven't run into, living in America all these years, I haven't run into anyone and see them and then all of a sudden think, oh man, I might be related to this person. Never crossed my mind. I just know you black, I'm black. Hey, I'm used to being around black people. Oh, they would be like, oh, don't forget that you're black. Really? If I forget that I'm black, what am I going to think I am? These are the type of things, you know, these Pan African people talk about. And you get the so called African Pan Africanists, you know, who I don't even know where to begin with them. You know, they should know better, but I don't know what they are thinking. Because I know that if you say you're from Africa, you are talking about a country. You're from a specific country. You know this. You're from a tribe. In fact, I see some of these people, they talk about, every time they talk about tribe, right? It's always insulting. And you Africans, some of you, you sit there and just entertain it when you know damn well, you know in your various countries, if these people say some of these things, it's not going to go well. That is not because people are extremists. This is what people's identity is. You're coming, you know, just because someone is identifying with who they are, that doesn't mean that's a bad thing. But no, you're telling me I shouldn't identify with what I am, right? Because this tribe that you're talking about, this is from Africa. Because you say you're African, right? You want to identify. Well, this is how we identify. Some of you even lie and say, "Oh, it's all the same. You know, we all speak the same language. We all used to be one." When did that ever happen? Differences doesn't mean that that's a bad thing. If I'm different from you, we're from different tribes, that doesn't mean that's a bad thing. I'm just me, you are you. You know, we all have the right to exist on our own. But now, if you are telling me, a complete stranger who cannot even speak the language, by the way, who cannot speak the language, comes in and tells me, oh, you don't know, uh, um, all the Africans speak the same language. Are you sure about that? Really? Are you sure about that? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to drop the link here, right now. You know, I want it to be a call-in show. Tell me what you think. And if you think the Pan-Africanism works for Africa, by all means, call in and make your case. But as far as I see it so far, As it stands, Africans are not feeling it. Africans are not feeling it because Africans need economic progress. And that economic progress, everybody from Vietnam, Japan, China, Russia, we see what is happening in the US southern border. How can you convince people that, a black person walking down the street, just, the white police would kill them? We're seeing people who are black, we're seeing people who are not white. They are literally willing to die to enter this country. If you believe that's the truth, let these people take the chance. I believe in allowing everybody to take a chance. It's their life. But when you're talking to some of these people in these countries, especially Gambia, they are looking at you like a dummy. Seriously, I'm just letting you know. When you're trying to talk about this white racism, how white, they are looking at you like you are out of your mind. Because the person you're talking to probably knows somebody who's been living in America for years. And they see them come and go. They're sending money, no problem. They never hear these stories from them. You don't think things happen to people in Africa? Africans know what type of people, interact with police. You don't think we have our own people there who are criminals that interact with police? You think this is just an American thing? This is not just an American thing. It happens there.